Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to SnowRunner, and welcome back to Black River, Michigan, I believe this is. So I wasn't planning on recording this straight away today. I wanted to get a few more things set up, but because we have a day-night cycle that I can't control, and because the missions in this game, I'm finding, you don't pick the missions pick you. We're in our International Lodestar 5070. This truck has become my go-to. It's the workhorse. It's the hero. We need to go pick up some metal planks, and then we need to bring those back, hook up a trailer, head up the valley a little ways, pick up some bricks, and take both of those to a factory, and that will be one of our last... No, I'm sorry, it won't be. It will be a contract, but we have plenty more of those. We're getting near to the end of our tasks, which are two different things. And I'll try to talk about this a little bit as we roll here, and I'll show you the menu and some other things as we get rolling. You know what? Let me do that before we go any further. Let me pull up here and stop. Set the brake. Like so. So here's the map. I've done all the discovery points, all the towers. I found all the upgrades that are available on the map, and I've done the majority of the tasks. The tasks are under this tab right here. We've only got a couple of them left. Missing machinery will be the one that I do next. These are contests. These are sort of time-sensitive things that you need to get done. I haven't done any of those yet. And then on the contracts, which is what we're on right now, we're on one called Pipe Dream. There are more of these, right? So we need to get those done as well. So Pipe Dream, if we zoom back out again, this is our garage down here to the, I'm just going to call it the southeast. I don't know how this map orients, but down here is our kind of our area of operations. This is us right here. We're heading west. We're going to go pick up metal planks here, come back to our garage, pick up a trailer, get bricks here, and then we're going to take everything up to this factory right up here. And when we get there, that may complete the mission, it may not. But yeah, there is, man, if I was frustrated by Mud Runner and Spin Tires, because there were two things to do. You could discover the map, right? You could discover the watchtowers, and you could log, or you could load logs. You weren't even really logging, I guess, from that perspective. You're just picking up logs and taking them to somewhere else. And if you did that, if you got enough logs to the lumber mill, then that was it. That map was done. You could do it again, try to do it in a better time, try to do it using less fuel, but that was it. In this game, in this sim, there is an unbelievable amount of stuff to do. There are so many different, creative, fun missions. Some of them you need to pick things up, take them other places. Some of them you need to recover vehicles. I had to go knock over barrels in a little scout vehicle, these barrels that were in like the most inaccessible places. It's really, really cool. There are upgrades to discover, there are vehicles to discover, trailers to discover. There is, if Mud Runner didn't have enough to do, this game has almost too much to do. And this is one area of 4 in the US, and the US map is one of 3. So we've got 4 maps in the US, or the continental US. We've got 4 maps in Alaska, 4 areas, I guess is a better way to say it. 4 areas in the continental US, 4 areas in Alaska, and then 4 areas in Russia. And all of them have specific vehicles, and it does seem to be ramping up, I will say, as we moved away from the tutorial. And I wanted to, when we left at the end of the last episode, I said, let's pick up right from here. But there is so much to do in this game, and the things that completed the tutorial, there were another, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 missions or activities that completed the tutorial, gave you a good idea of how the game was played, what you needed to do. It barely scratched the surface. If we had spent episodes on the rest of the tutorial, we would have been essentially wasting episodes. There's just so much to do. Even things like, last episode we got a bridge open, right? We had to take 2 loads of supplies to open a bridge. There are several more things like that you need to do, roadblocks, power lines, and the tutorial did throw me into Alaska, and I immediately left. Well, the first time I ended up in Alaska, as you're figuring the game out, you can do some damage to your profile. You can buy things that you won't be able to use, right? I would suggest really kind of playing cautiously, playing a bit of a waiting game, and really making sure that you need something. When I was joking earlier, you don't pick the mission picks you. I'm not entirely joking. There are some missions that you can't do with certain vehicles, and you won't find that out until you get there and try it. So my recommendation, or what I've learned, is metal planks in. There we go. What I've learned is try a mission first and see if you can do it with one of the vehicles you have. And if you can't, maybe go do another one. Or try to discover a vehicle. My first profile, I was kind of buying stuff. There's a store where you can buy trucks, you can buy upgrades. Sure, let's do it. But the game is really specific and really difficult. So it's the things that I buy, and I imagine the things you buy, they need to be specific, and they need to be related to a goal or a task, rather than just, oh, it would be cool to have that. So I did start over, and I noticed that this game does not have multiple profiles. It's just you. That's it. So you can't have one profile to test, one profile to have fun, one profile is serious, right? You're in it. So when I put all that together, I restarted, and I am going to buy fuel here before we get rolling. Do this as often as possible. I don't see a penalty for buying fuel. It doesn't cost anything that I've noticed. And I also don't see a penalty for recovering. Now, normally in gaming, I try not to teleport. I try not to recover. But this is a different kind of game. Now, we may, at some later date, we may play a more hardcore style where we don't teleport and where we don't recover. And right? We may do that later. But for now, what I'm finding is learning the maps, and there are, for lack of a better word, there are traps on this map. There's trickery afoot, and it's all in good fun. It's a video game. I'm okay with it. But there are places on the map where you will find yourself looking at, say, a river crossing and think, yep, right through there. That's where I want to go. And then you have to catch yourself like, no, that's where they want me to think I have to go. And if you try to go through there, you'll fall in a hole or slippery mud or something. Something will happen. And at that point, you have to recover. So my feelings are, it's a game, and if the developers, it's a really well-balanced game. It really is. I have no complaints there. So if the developers have laid traps for us, then we'll play it as a game that we discover where the traps are by stumbling into them. And after we've stumbled into one, then we'll recover. There are other games, One Life games, where maybe you don't want to play that style. And it may be that you don't want to play this game that style. But I figure if the developers are having fun, then we'll have fun too. We don't need to take it too awful seriously. Let's just play and enjoy ourselves. And that's what we're doing. And now I will admit that there are times when you're not entirely stuck. The truck is still moving, but it's moving very, very slowly. And you've got down on the left there, you can see you've got a little gauge indicating how much fuel you have and also how fast you're using fuel. And it's quick enough to do a little head math and figure. Get through here. There we go. Yeah, this truck is my hero. I love it. You can do a little head math and figure. I calculate I'm moving, one X per minute, and I'm using however much fuel per minute. I will be able to get out of this mud before I run out of fuel. And yet you're moving. I mean, I don't know what it would be in real time. Feet per hour. And it's you're still moving, and I don't like to recover. I don't like to teleport. You're still moving, and I think I'll just tough it out, and it makes me grit my teeth. It's so frustrating to be moving but not moving. So I want to step back from that a little bit and just enjoy myself. It is a fun, cool game. It's a gorgeous game. The map is massive. The sight lines are unbelievable. I was able to set everything to Ultra, and we're at 85 FPS. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was loading textures or Havok was sorting itself. I don't know what was going on the first time I loaded the game, but our FPS is fine and all our settings are bumped to Ultra. So no problems there. It's a great looking game. When you get up on some of these peaks, you can see the entire map, everything. You can see your vehicles like a mile away. It's a really, really good looking game, and no problems, no bugs, no lockups, no freezes, no looping menus. The game is fine on day one, and as much grief as I've given developers over the past, it's been about 6 months. It's really been on my mind. It's really been bugging me that so many developers are sending out half-done games with the idea that they'll fix them later. This game was done on day one. From the minute that I loaded it up, it's never had a problem with it. So we got this hooked up now. We are going to head up the valley here, as I said, and pick up a load of bricks. And then we're going to take those bricks to the factory, and hopefully that'll be around 30 minutes. If it is not, then we'll hop in our little Chevy Stepside and drive up to the tunnel that will take us to the next area of Michigan. And that is how the areas are separated, or at least so far. It may be different when we get to Alaska and Russia, or even when we get to the other side of this new Michigan area that we're going to. But for this one, you drive through a tunnel. And I think there may even be some contracts and tasks that take you back and forth from one area to another, because I can see some tasks already that they're available, but they're not in this area of Michigan. So yeah, it almost makes MudRunner, it almost makes MudRunner look like a proof of concept or an early access or something. It is that, I mean, it's the same game. You can see it's the same game. It plays the same. It feels the same. Looks very similar, although a lot brighter. The sun shines more. It's less foggy and Russian, but it's MudRunner, right? And it was MudRunner 2 when it was in development, and then they swapped it over to SnowRunner. Not sure why, but it really does make MudRunner seem like an entirely different game. All right, can we? Nope. All right, it's cool. We got our winch. Can we get one on here? Can we get one on here? Let's try this one. Yes, no. Come on now. Nope. All right. How about, I've tried this a couple times. It's a little different, but it does work. Let's try this. Nope. I don't think, we may be on a big rock. I hope not. I don't know. That doesn't seem like something we can really pull on. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yep. Got it. There we are. All right. What was I complaining about? Nothing for once. I wasn't complaining about anything. I was actually being super positive. Yeah, it is MudRunner. It feels exactly like MudRunner. It's just better in every possible way. This has to be, I'm not saying it's going to be my favorite game of the year, and I'm not saying it's something I want to play exclusively, but this could be, like, when it comes to letter grades, this could be the game that I give the highest grade of the year, because it's just, for what it is superior in every category. And that's not a fanboy thing. I'm just stating it as objectively as I can. It's a great game. So yeah, really, really pleased with this, and happy that I was wrong. I mentioned this last episode. I wasn't going to download it. I saw some people play it and thought, been there, done that. And glad that I downloaded it. It is a great game. Now we've got, let me see, we've got, Curious how we're going to do on fuel here, because we are burning some fuel. We've got... No, I think we'll make it. I think we'll make it. Because we've got one more water hole to go through. I've been up and down this road so many times. There's a warehouse out here where we're going to pick up our bricks. Is a location that you go to pick up... I believe you can pick up anything there. There is that facility we went to in town. All you can get there is metal. There is a lumber mill. All you can get there is metal. No. Reverse that. No, I had it right. The place in town, all you can get is metal. The lumber mill, all you can get is wood. Yeah. That would make more sense. You get wood at the lumber mill. You get metal at the, place. And then this warehouse has bricks and everything else. And there's a couple others. There's a farm. There's just a ton of facilities. And it's, when you look at the missions, when you look at the tasks, the contracts, the way that they're laid out, having been around the map a few times, for me personally, I really need to like take a minute and think, well, now hang on a minute. Does it make more sense to go here and do this, or should I go here and do this first? Should I just take the side bed truck and make 2 trips, one for the metal, one for the bricks, or should I pull a trailer? And it's solving puzzles. And then beyond that, when you get into things like once you unlock this bridge, now you get a bunch more tasks. How are you going to do those? You need this to do that, but then these are over here now. It's very, very cool. And I mean, if I had to guess, I've got way too many hours into this. Now, there's been a bit of a learning curve on this first area. Don't do it. There's been a bit of a learning curve on this first area. So the other areas may go quicker. However, this is the entrance point. This is theoretically the easiest area. So it could be that the areas that we get into take even longer. But I'm estimating, I don't know, between 6 and 10 hours per area. Right? So that's, call it on the outside, 40 hours per map. And there's 3 maps. That's 120 hours. That's not bad for a driving game just to get to endgame. So I'm nothing but impressed. And I'm really looking forward to getting to Alaska. I mentioned earlier, I sort of changed topics after I mentioned it, but I went to Alaska, left the garage, and I'd set the truck up wrong, and immediately realized, like, oh yeah, this is problematic. This is, the rig that I've brought here it's not going to work. This is no good. And that was when I started considering restarting my profile. And then shortly after that, I actually did. But when we go back to Alaska, we're going to be prepared. We're going to have the right gear, and everything is going to be mo better. Mo better. Now, I have a serious concern about fuel, because we really are burning a lot. And we don't have that far to go, but we sort of do. Now, what we can do is hop into another vehicle and bring some fuel out. But I don't necessarily want to run out of time. Where are we at? 18 minutes. Let's just go. Let's just go and see how we do. Find a little grip. There's some right there. And we are at the warehouse. And then from there, it's just, I mean, I say it's just right up the road. It's not quite that simple, but, you know, it's Mud Runner. Of course it's not. All right. So we've got the planks already on here. We're going to put bricks in this back trailer. And I think, yeah, I think that crate right down there is one of the next tasks that we have. It says that you have to have a crane on to do it. I believe we're going to go down there and pick up that crate, put it on a truck, and take it somewhere. So those are the types of tasks and missions that I'm really enjoying. Right here. All right, and we want, in the trailer, we want bricks times twice. Dose many. All right, brake is off. I'll drive around back here. So yeah, I got my wish. And it's so satisfying as a gamer when you look at a game that you like and you think, man, you know, if only right? And you make a list in your head. If only like this or like that. And then the sequel or the patch or the DLC or whatever is released, and you get, oh my goodness, 23 points of damage on my engine right there. Wow. All right. Barely touched it. All right. So we're going here. Yeah. Fuel. I mean, this is from all the way up in town is when we filled up. Tell you what, let's do this before we get back into the mud. Let's do this. We've got to go more or less just right here. Right here. Not there. We got to go right here. So let's just see how she goes. And the timing may work out. I mean, it's going to work out on fuel because we've got about 10 minutes of fuel left and we've got about 10 minutes of video left. So let's see how it goes. All right, and I'm trying to think what else. The trucks are very cool. The upgrades are very cool. You discover some of those. You still have to buy them, but you do have to... I guess you have to find them on the map first. Once you've found them on the map, they're available to buy, but if you want them, you still have to buy them. And also, up near that tunnel that takes us to the next area, I found an old International Scout. But the proximity of it to that tunnel entrance really got me thinking, like, oh, I feel like I'm meant to scout this next area in this new vehicle. Just because it was right there, it really kind of made me wonder if that's not their intent. So, oh shit. All right. Well, you know what? That's what we do. That's what we do. So it's over, and then that'll put us back on. If we go straight, it looks like that'll put us back on solid ground. One can hope. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it on fuel. So we will... I don't think we're going to make it at all. So what we'll do is, I guess we'll go till this rig is out of fuel. I'm going to do this. Let's do this side. We'll go till this rig is out of fuel. And we'll, next week, we'll either pick up Operation Toy Rescue, or maybe we'll just be exploring that new area. All right, let's see what we got here. Do we have a snorkel on this? Not really. I mean, we got a fender mounted intake, but wouldn't exactly call that a snorkel. But it didn't get that deep, so we're okay. All right, and on the map is not always indicative of what it is that's actually under your wheels. Because on the map, this certainly looked like, you know what I'm saying, a little more solid. And this is absolutely just slippery mud. Okay. Keep some momentum going. Momentum is key in this game. You know that if you played it. Just got to keep moving. Just never stop moving. And also try not to dig in. That's always bad news. All right. Yeah, and as I say that, I don't know if you saw us just settle right there, but we certainly looked like we wanted to dig in. All right. Now it does. I mean, the road loops back around. The road, such as it is. I'm just going to stick to it. We could cut right through there, I suppose. But those are those traps I'm talking about. Like, directly in front of us. It looks like we could just deep right back onto the road, but I don't know, man. I've been burned too many times. Had my heart broke. All right, so we got to winch out. This guy right here. Tell you something else. Yep. My guy hates trees. I can't tell you how many trees I've ripped out of the ground. And if you're in something, if you're in the little Chevy Stepside, if you're in that little International, everything's fine. But if you're in a big truck, it just, as you just saw, it absolutely just tears the trees out of the ground. you really don't get a whole lot of benefit from it. Although, I mean, it kept us moving. And that is key. Just maintain your momentum. Even if you're barely making headway, just keep moving. Don't dig in. Now, can we make this big turn and get around in front of this pine tree without hitting it? Barely. Oh, and it's getting dark, too. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing I want to be mindful of, is that we don't do too many episodes in the dark. I like driving at night. I like driving in the dark, but I know it can get really hard to see, and that's no fun for you. So as much as possible, we'll keep it in the daylight. All right, so we got, oh dear. We're going to make that one. No. So let's back up there. And we are out of the swampy bit. A little bit of side hill. Got to be mindful of this right here. This could kick us to the right, and it does. It feels, the physics feel, I mean, I haven't spent a ton of time driving giant stake body trucks in the woods in mud, but it definitely has a predictable, and I would venture to say accurate feeling to the physics. You know, like right there, that is exactly what I would expect to happen in real life if you took a top-loaded truck side hill like that and got exactly that response. So it's very cool in that way, and it's got just a very nice, I don't know, predictable. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Now, I said earlier there's traps. That's got nothing to do with the physics. That's the game design. That's Saber Interactive having a laugh. But the physics themselves are fantastic. They're an improvement over MudRunner, but they have the same feel for sure. So the time that it will take you to get used to driving the trucks, if you spent time in MudRunner, the time that it will take you to get used to them is minutes. It'll be really familiar to you. All right, maybe, I don't know, we got a quarter of a mile. If we can get back on pavement here and start making tracks. All right. There you go. All you got to do is ask. All right, turn the four-wheel drive off. That saves us a ton of fuel. Right down here. This is when I flip the truck, by the way. I get overconfident. Oh yeah, we're back on pavement. Everything is fantastic. And then it all goes tits up, literally. All right. Just a little bit of mud right there. Back on pavement. Is that our last? Oh dear, our fuel just went red. No, come on, man, we can't make it this close. We can't get this close and then, no, that would be terrible. I think we might just make it. I think we might. All right, right through there. Time 28 minutes. Sun is going down. We're running out of fuel. Come on, game. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. I can't tell you how many episodes we've had lately in all kinds of different sims where everything has just worked out at the last minute, and we've ended up right at half an hour. It's fantastic. All right, so we come right in here. Cargo management. Let me set the brake first. Cargo management. Unload those. Unload those, and we're done. We've been promoted. Fantastic. There you have it. Let me pivot around here, folks. Ah! Oh, God. Easy. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of SnowRunner. This is Black River, Michigan. We'll see you next time. Take care now.